Just another sunny day in Southern California. It's where the people came to play. Don't let them transform you. Oh, come and see what you've been missing on a little slice of heaven. It's the only place we're living. It's
Today is the best day of the week so far, and this is the best hour of the day. Make it so. It's within your power. Hi, I'm Jan. This is 316 Yoga. This is your yoga from home. That's the best part. Your body, you do it your way, you're in your space, you're doing it from your house. It's your practice. Make it work for you. I'm here to just guide you, but you are your own best teacher. You know what to do. This is your flexibility and mobility practice. It's 1 hour long. Stick around for 10 minutes. That's all you need. Stick around for 10 minutes, but you can stay the whole hour. It does go by fast. See what you can do what you can do, and listen to your body. Don't ever hurt. Every day our practices are different. You know, you can do some things some days and not some things the other days. Don't sweat it. It's no big deal. Do what's right for your body. Always, always do what's right for you. You're the only one who knows you. You know how you feel today, what moves this way, what moves that way, what surgeries you've had, what aches and pains you have. Don't hurt yourself. If something hurts that we're doing, don't do it. Back out of it. Do it to a lesser percentage. Don't do it at all. Breathe through it if it's just uncomfortable. But if it's pain, ease off. You don't need to do that. And speaking of ease off the pressure. Do what you can do. Don't sweat it. Don't say, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. Some days, it's just enough to breathe. Oh, that's all you can do is just breathe. Just breathe through it. Breathe deeply right now, in fact. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And a big sighing breath out through your mouth. Do it, really do it. And as you're sighing it out through your mouth and you're making that audible sound, feel how your shoulders just melt down. We hold so much tension in our shoulders. Sometimes do you find that your shoulders are up around your ears? Let them go. Breathe out. Let it go. Last month, our focus was on peace. This month, our focus is on patience. They kind of go in hand, don't they? Peace and patience. So we're going to focus on having patience. And you know, there's peace in staying the course. There's peace in staying the course and doing something, just showing up. Trust that this course, your yoga, is right for you. Find what works, weave it into your life every single day, and live your yoga off of your mat. All right, here's the word to think about today as you practice. No surprise, you can probably guess it. It's breathe. Breathe. You have to breathe to live, right? To exist, you have to breathe. Drink it in as you breathe in, and let it go as you breathe out. You know, it's the first thing you do, and it's the last thing you do. Make every breath in between. You don't even think about them that much. Isn't that kind of an interesting little twist? First thing you do, last thing you do, but you don't think about it in between. Let it be good. Let all your breaths count. All right. Here we go. Let's start our practice. Today you're going to use some props. The props we usually use, 2 yoga blocks. Buy them if you don't have them. They're not very expensive. Along with those blocks, a strap. If you don't have any of these props today, that's okay. You can do this practice, but just get the props. They make it more fun. And the good thing is they're not very expensive. They're easy to store in your house. You got it. You can do it. Eye shade and hand towel, those are great little additions. And have some water too. We don't breathe enough. We don't drink enough water. Don't breathe enough either. Breathe deeply. That's the ticket. All right, so you got your props. Stress number. Let's make our way up to standing, and let's lock in a stress number. We do this every day. Scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10, whatever scale you like, happy face to smiley face. Give it a number. Where are you in your stress? Lock the number up. Lock the number up. Come up to standing and lock the number in. All right, let's do our usual little warm-up. If this is all you can do today, that's fine. Don't sweat it. Take a confidence stance. Spread your feet a little bit. Root them into the mat. Hands to your hips. Shoulders. Move them. Wiggle them. Do whatever you want with the shoulders. Bring them up to your ears. Feel that feeling. Say, yeah, I know this. I keep them here a lot. And then bring them down. Send them back and down. Lift your chest to the sky. That'll help by bringing your elbows to the back of the room. Breathe here. Big breath in. Big breath out. Maybe just close your eyes for a minute. Just focus inward. Even this is good to balance, closing your eyes. You can have a chair nearby or a countertop, or don't close your eyes, but just focus inward for a second. Maybe find a drishti, a focal point, and just stare at it and just hold on. Breathe in through your nose, nice and deep. Breathe out through your mouth. Notice how your shoulders soften. Create a little saying in your head that you want to repeat throughout your day that's positive. I am healthy, I am strong, I am capable, I am able, I am enough just the way I am. Thank you very much. Maybe that's kind of a long thing to say, but think of something positive. Take a deep breath in And a deep breath out. In your confident stance, feel the chest lift and rise up to the sky. Blink your eyes open if you had them closed. Now let's start to work on our feet, our foundation. Start to just rise up onto the balls of your feet. Focus on keeping the heel behind your toes, not splaying it out to the side or letting it collapse inward. Lift and lower. It's more important to keep the heel behind the toes than it is to come up super high on your toes. It'll come in time. Don't sweat it. Chest stays lifted. Crown of your head. Think of like being a marionette. Think of your head, the crown of your head going up, up, up to the sky as you lift and lower onto the balls of your feet. And then a few times, just like you were shrugging your shoulders this way and that way, whatever felt good for you. Same thing with your feet. Maybe you decide to lift up high on the balls of the feet. Hold it here for a second. And maybe you decide to come down onto your heels and lift your toes up and give them a wiggle. Just find your feet. Find your solid foundation. Don't be intimidated by it. Find what you can do. Strengthen it. Only way you can make it stronger is to use it. So lift and lower, chest stays lifted. Find the strength in your lengthening to raise and lower the heels. And then let's finish. Oh my goodness, I feel that a lot, don't you? I'm going to give the toes a wiggle, then I'm going to lift the arms up to an extended mountain pose. Now your shoulders are going to go up near your ears. Soften them a little bit. Plug your shoulders back into the ground. Spiral your pinkies in toward the midline of your body. Lengthen up here and breathe through the chest. Chest is lifted. Extended mountain, find your height, find your length. Interlace your fingers, palms up to the sky, palm tree pose. Sway from side to side, let it feel good. Breathe in, breathe out, into the nose, out through the mouth. Breathe, chin is away from your chest. You're moving your spine sideways, you're waking up, you're starting your new week off really well. Finish up. Back to the midline of your body. Hands to your low back. You can have your fingers pointing down. Today I'm going to do it a little different. I'm going to have my fingers pointing up. That's harder. Squeeze your elbows to the back of the room. Press your belly forward. Elbows are squeezed toward your spine. Look up toward the sky. Breathe. Feel the nice stretch in your neck. Breathe. Chest is lifted. Exhale. Remove your hands from your low back. Hinge forward, fold in half. Think of your belly hollowing out. Arms hang loose. As your arms hang loose, give them a shake. Give your shoulders a wiggle. Tuck your chin towards your chest so the crown of your head is toward the earth. Shake your neck. Shake your neck. Loosen it up. Little bend in your knees might feel great. Breathe. Shake your neck. Shake your shoulders. Woo. Breathe. Slowly come to stillness. Come back to the midline of your body and roll and stack your vertebrae one on top of the other. Bring your chin away from your chest. Absolutely last. All right, arm circles. Tee out your arms and start to draw some arm circles. Like think of your fingers drawing circles on the walls to the side of your room. Draw them in one direction. We'll do the other direction in a moment. You're just getting into the shoulders. If this doesn't feel good, remember, listen to you. Maybe a little bend in your elbows and maybe smaller circles. Do what feels right. Add in your knees. Bend the knees when the hands come down and straighten the knees when the fingers go up. Breathe. You got it. Breathe. Arm circles in the other direction. Wake up in the shoulders. Little movements. It doesn't take much. It just takes consistency. And remember, where you end up depends on what you do every day. Oh, your activities, taking care of yourself, drinking lots of water, coming back to your yoga, it all matters. Arms down by your sides, stand up nice and straight. Take a big inhale and a big exhale to soften up your shoulders. Breathe. Your consequences are the result of your actions. Make your actions good. Make them intentional. Do good things. All right, let's do that big coat swing. All right, start to sway from side to side. Not sway, start to twist from side to side. Let your arms hang heavy by your sides. Tap your backside, tap your hip, and look over your shoulder. Really look over your shoulder. If you're comfortable doing this, maybe another challenge for you would be to close your eyes. And imagine looking deep over your shoulder. Shoulders away from your ears. Arms are loose and heavy. Take the twist a little deeper if that feels right for you in this moment. Maybe it doesn't feel so great, so take it a little less deeply. Pretty simple, right? Just move. All right, you're done. Come back to the midline of your body. As you're standing here, maybe the eyes are closed or open. Just turn your head from left to right. Left to right, shoulders are down. Think of your fingers reaching toward the earth. Left, right, left. Breathe. As you're ready, finish. Let's do ragdoll. All right, and we're going to focus on ragdolling the neck too. All right, look down at your feet. They should be hip-width distance apart. Hands to opposite elbow creases. Hinge forward fold in half. Little bend in your knees feels good. Look to your knees or up toward your belly button. Little bend in your knees. See how that feels. Start to sway from side to side, bringing one elbow back toward the knee, then the other. Breathe. Okay, so you're like drawing little figure eights with your elbows, swaying one side to the other. Release your fingertips toward the earth or on the earth. Send your gaze back toward your knees or your belly button, and then just shake your neck. Loosen your neck. Think of softness in your shoulders. Think of softness in your neck. How do you want to move it? Left, right, forward, back, little circles. Let's finish. Come on down, bend your knees, come on down to your mat. Child's pose. So we've warmed up the body, we've loosened up the body, letting it know, hey body, movement's coming. Now let's get into our heads. We're going to get into our heads in our child's pose. You can use your two blocks for your child, you can use a block for your child's pose or not use a block. Think of the block as bringing the ground up to you. Big toes touch, knees touch, hips back towards your heels. Maybe that feels pretty good. The block up towards you, you can bring your forehead down to it, however feels right for you right now. Arms down by your sides, fingers reaching toward the bottom of your mat. You can adjust the height of your block and find a long spine here. Extended child's pose is a variation. That means you can do whichever one you like and you'll get the same good benefits. Knees spread wide, big toes touch. I'm going to bring my block to the top of my mat and I'm going to reach my arms long to the top of the mat. You could have your block under your forehead or chest to bring the ground up to you. Or you can sink your forehead down to your mat. With the block at the top of the mat, you could also bring your hands up onto it. That's really getting into the shoulders. You do what feels right for you today. And the hardest thing, I think, it's really interesting in a class in person, it's interesting to see everybody wants to take everything to 110%. Nobody settles in and listens to, what their body needs. The common desire is to just strive for more. Try not to do that. Try to just really focus on you, and that's what we're doing here. We're focusing on the mind. Body knows it's warmed up. Now it's time to just let go. Be at peace in your mind and have patience for you. Breathe in, breathe out. Sigh it out, and as you sigh it out, think of your tailbone going to the back of the room. And then close your lips if you want, and breathe in and out of your nose. Build heat in your body, and focus on, guess what? Your breath. Deep breath in, and deep breath out. Really focus on keeping the breaths deep and full. Big inhale. Even feel your shoulders expand to the side of the room. And big exhale. Focus on the belly button coming back to touch the spine as you just really clear all the air out of your lungs. And feel the depth of the pose in the complete exhale. So this is your child's pose. Come back to it anytime you like, any of these variations that feel super good for you. I'm going to bend my arms right now and bring my elbows down to the mat and bring my palms to touch like your hands are in prayer. Elbows hugged in toward your ears, towards the side of your head. Feel a nice little stretch in your triceps. As again, you just focus inward. Remove the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Feel the lungs expand. Shoulders expand to the side of the room. Exhale. Let it go. Let all negativity and doubt go. Because you can do this. However your pose looks is great. As long as it doesn't hurt. And you're focusing on your breath. Nice stretch in the triceps. You'll appreciate that in a few moments when we work on the shoulders a little bit more. Work your hands back down to your mat and come out of your child's pose. Find your block and come up to a standing on your knees position, and let's get into our feet, our foundation. All right, sit back onto your heels or place your block on your bottom and have a seat here. Take a deep breath in, hands on your thighs, and a deep breath out as you soften in your shoulders. You can bring your hands to prayer center if you like, or let's get back into the shoulders. I'm going to bring my hands behind my low back. Remember ragdoll pose we did just a moment ago? Have your hands reach for opposite elbow creases. Shoulders are back and down. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let it go, let it go, let it go. All right, big stretch in the feet, but your arms are getting your mind off your toes, right? At least that's my intention. Now your mind is back on your feet. You're breaking up the fascia in your feet. You're strengthening your feet. You're allowing them to be more stretchy and more mobile. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. You want a strong foundation. You want mobility in your feet and your ankles. So important to prevent falls, especially as we get older. And we all are having the blessing of getting to be older, right? Life is good. Make those breaths count. Big breath in, big breath out. Let it go, let it go, let it go. If it hurts, hinge forward a little bit. Take some of the pressure off. Let it go. Maybe if you're sitting back here on your heels, and if you don't have a block, that's fine too. You could sit right back on your heels. It's A-okay. You want to stretch the fascia in the feet. The bottoms of the feet is where you're feeling this. Toes are feeling it too. Don't forget the pinky. Let the pinky rest on the mat and let your shoulders soften as you breathe. Let's come out of this toes pose. Oh my goodness, I'm glad to come out, aren't you? Let's take both blocks, maybe. Bring the tops of your feet onto your mat and have a seat back on your heels. You can use your blocks for balance by your sides. No blocks at all, that's fine. You can just press into your mat if your arms are long enough. I like the blocks. And then press into the blocks. Come on up onto the tops of your feet. Feel the nice deep stretch in your ankles. Oh my goodness, I think this is a great pose. I love toes pose, I love ankle pose. Knees are together and they lift up off of your mat. You're essentially balancing on the top of your feet. Keep your blocks there for balance if you want. Or kind of, if you want, take the blocks away, hands to prayer center, or keep them down on your mat and get into this stretch in your ankles to what feels right today. Breathe in, breathe out. Let's tuck our chin to our chest and then lift your chin up to the sky. Look up, focus up, let the front of your neck stretch. Chin to your chest and then chin to the sky. Breathe. Breathe. How do your ankles feel? Let's come out of this pose. Okay, we do lots of different variations of toes pose and ankle pose. Come back and check us out. Every day is different, like I promised. All right, neutral tabletop. Lift your feet up. Squeeze and scrunch your toes. Circle the ankles in both directions. Tap the tops of your feet out on your mat. Way to go. All right, cat-cow pose. Another great pose for your spine. Neutral tabletop. Shoulders over wrists. Knees under hips, lengthen up here. Lengthen through the crown of your head and your tailbone. Push equally hard into your hands and the tops of your feet. Oh, it's easy to forget to press into the tops of your feet. But do it. See how that feels. It gets your core engaged. Your belly is engaged. You are strong. Everything here is working together for that which is good. Lengthen through the crown of your head and your tailbone. As you take an exhale, tuck your chin to your chest, tuck your tailbone under, arch your back up to the sky like a Halloween cat. Push hard into the earth. Inhale, cow, crown of your head lifts, tailbone lifts. You're moving your neck again, tucking the chin to the chest for cat as you exhale. Inhale, cow, crown of the head and tailbone lift. As you do your cat-cow, feel the shape of the spine going from a letter C to a backwards C. Move your tailbone. Find mobility there. Mobility and flexibility. We all want more of that. finish up. Neutral tabletop. Extend your right leg long. Press the ball of the right foot into the mat. Push your hands into the mat. Stretch it out in the back of that right leg. Cross the right leg over the midline of your body. Hug high in the upper inner thighs. Bring the ball of the right foot down onto the left side of your body. Push equally into your hands, and then look over your left shoulder. Nice sideways flexion of your spine. Look back to your ankle, your knee, or up towards your bottom. Finish. Knee comes back to the starting position. Left leg extends. Plant the left foot down. Breathe. Press the ball of the foot into the mat. Lengthen here through the crown of your head. Stretch it out through your foot, through your left leg. Left leg crosses over the midline of your body. Press hard into the earth. Right shoulder, look over it, and enjoy this sideways movement of your spine. How far do you want to take it? Maybe you're looking to the side of your room. Maybe you're looking back and you can see your toes or your heel or your knee or your bottom. Breathe. Left knee comes back to meet the right. Another round of cat-cow. Tuck your chin to your chest, tailbone under. You know this one. Inhale, cow, crown of your head, and tailbone lift. Come back to a neutral tabletop. We're going to do thread the needle, but we're going to do it faster than we normally do, and we're going to do it 3 times each. Don't take it too deep. All right, here's the deal. Neutral tabletop. Lift your right arm up to the sky and look over your right shoulder up towards your fingers. As you exhale, right hand comes down. This is the thread the needle part. Your right hand is the thread, and it's going underneath your left arm. Bring your shoulder down. Left arm reaches to the top of your mat. So your arms are almost in an L shape. Left arm reaches to the top of your mat. Right arm reaches to the left side of your mat with the fingers really reaching. Stretch. Bring your shoulder down. Breathe. Inhale. Come on up. Send the arm back up to the sky. And then thread the needle again. Right arm comes down. Left arm reaches far to the top. Stretch it out. Bring the shoulder down. Breathe here. Stretch. L shape in the arms. Inhale, arms come up. Right arm goes up. Your gaze goes up. Exhale. Thread the needle one more time. Thread it under the left. Shoulder comes down. Adjust your hips. Make it doable. Stretch it out. Breathe. Inhale. One more time. Right arm goes up to the sky. Finish. Right hand meets left on the mat. We've got another side to do. Same thing. We're taking it a little quick. Left arm lifts. Look up. Just note how far you twist. It's going to get better. Left arm comes down. Reach it to the right side of your mat. Right arm reaches to the top. Come down to your left cheek. Stretch the L shape in your arms. Shoulder comes toward the earth. Inhale. Come back to the starting position. Left arm sweeps up. Look up. Exhale, arm threads the needle. Right arm reaches, left arm reaches. Breathe. Unthread the needle or de-thread the needle, whatever you want to say. Send the arm back up, look up. One more time. Breathe. Is that 2 or 3 or 4? I lost count. Breathe, stretch it out. One more time. Come back. Right arm plants, left arm lifts, look up. Nice mobility in the shoulders. Hands come down, neutral tabletop, cat-cow. You're familiar with this. Take it your way. Tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone. Inhale, opposite direction for your cow. Nice job. Come down to your bottom. All right, how are you doing? Fun little variation in the shoulders. Shoulders, think about those. How do they feel? Soften them away from the ears. Just take a breath here. How do your shoulders feel? Give them a wiggle. Nothing wrong with that. Wiggle them, lift them up to your ears, and then release. Come on down to your bottom. All right, let's do Supta Baddha Konasana sit-ups. Last week, I did the block at the bottom of my feet on our Monday practice. Let's do it again. All right, soles of your feet are touching. Block is under the pinky edge side of your foot. You don't have to use the block if you don't want to. You decide. Hands to prayer center, come on back to fully reclined. As you come on back, take it nice and gradually. Maybe you bring the block up closer to your groin, knees open wide. If you don't like the block, don't use it. Maybe, this is more intense. Maybe you stay right here. Perhaps you take your fingertips, bring them lightly to your temples, elbows open wide, and you can stay right here. You could take this reclined goddess too. What you could do with your hands is take them away from your temples. Bring your forearms parallel to the sides of your mat. Keep your elbows down and keep the backs of your hands down. And stay lifted here. It's a nice opening in your chest, allowing you to breathe deeply. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. I'm going to do Supta Baddha Konasana sit-ups. I'm going to bring my fingers lightly to my temples, elbows are back. I'm going to lift out of my chin as I exhale, and then come on down on the inhale. Keeping the elbows and the knees open wide, and breathing. During this little core sequence, you can breathe in and out of your mouth if that feels better for you. Just know what you're doing. Be aware of what you're doing. All right, those are your Supta Baddha Konasana sit-ups. Let's come on down. Bring your shoulders on down and let's do bicycle pose. I'm going to remove the block. Lots of ways you can take this. Maybe you like to have the knees bent. This feels good on your low back. If your knees are bent, your tailbone, the tip of your tailbone, think of tipping it down more into the earth. There's always a little more room, it seems, to be able to bring the tailbone down. Keep it right here if you like. And you can now bring your fingers back to your temples, peel your shoulders on up, and work opposite elbows toward opposite knees. That's a fine way of doing this pose. Another option would be to have your shoulders down, lift your legs up, have your knees over your hips, draw your toes towards your shins, and drive through your heels like you're riding a recumbent bicycle. That's fine too. Put it all together if you want. Fingers back at the temples, legs pedaling like a bicycle, and elbows toward opposite knees. Straighten your legs if you want, and scissor kick them. So many different ways to do things. You do it the way that you feel like doing it today. Let's finish. Come on down. Let's do boat pose. Boat pose. Your legs can be long on your mat. You can press on up through your arms, elbows under your shoulders, parallel forearms, pressed into the mat. You can stay right here. You can lift one leg, then lift the other, or both legs and hold it here. You can bring them up higher and play with the height here. Play with it and breathe. Another option would be to use your strap. Strap under the soles of your feet. Lean on back like you're in a recliner. Chest is lifted, back is straight. And have your elbows hugged in as you lift your legs up. And hold here. Fine variation. Or you can take it with nothing at all. Hands behind your knees. Heels on your mat. Lean back. Legs can go long. Hold it here. Release your hands. Take the variation you like and just hold for a moment or two. Breathe in, breathe out. Reach through your fingers, shoulders are back and down. Breathe. You can have a little bend in your knees if that feels better. Just play with it. And let's finish. All right, that's your boat pose. Bring the soles of your feet down. Let's find our blocks and let's go into a lunge, a low lunge. All right. So how do your hips feel? They're gonna feel really good now too when we stretch out the front of them. So come to standing on your knees, blocks by your sides, right foot forward, right knee over right ankle, push into the blocks and send your left leg long on your mat. You can put a towel under your left knee if that feels better. You can hang out right here. I'm gonna surf this today, but there's lots of different ways you can take it. Maybe right here is where you stay. Maybe you decide to bring your shoulders up a little bit more over your hips. Breathe. You can add in the arms by lifting them up to the sky and finding your balance here. You can interlace your fingers, press your interlaced fingers into your thigh, and then let your knee of the right leg come forward of the ankle a little bit. As you deepen the stretch here, your arms are strong. All fine variations. I'm going to go back to my fingers lifted high. Take a baby back bend. Then I'm going to bring my hands back to my blocks. Then I'm going to surf it out. All that means is I'm going to straighten the right leg and then rebend the right leg. So play with this as you like. Whatever variation you're in is perfect. I'm now going to walk my blocks back and come to sit my bottom on my left heel. Right toes are high up to the sky. Then I'm going to walk it forward and repeat. Send the knee forward, breathe. I'm looking forward, thinking of my chest going forward, gaze is forward. Then I'm going to surf it out again. And you know, you could also remove the blocks, This will challenge your balance a little bit too. Maybe hands to prayer center. As you inhale, come on up. Take it forward and then bring it on back. Nothing wrong with using your hands too. Surf it on out. Now let's finish here. Let's come back to standing on your left knee. Bring your right knee to meet your left. Other side. Same thing. Left foot forward, left knee over ankle. Press into your blocks. This is an important part. Sending your right leg straight. And try to bring the top of your right foot onto your mat. Think of sending that leg really super long. Maybe put a towel under your right knee. You can stay right here. What you should be feeling is a nice deep stretch in the front of your right hip. And remember the variations we took. I'll go over them again on this side. Maybe you bring your shoulders a little more up over your hips, or not. Maybe you reach your arms high. Maybe you take a baby back bend or not. Maybe you come back to hands on the blocks. Maybe you reach your arms forward. Play with it to what feels good for you. The other variation was interlacing your hands, your fingers, pressing into the thigh, and imagine sending the left knee forward of the left ankle. Breathe. Ooh, intense stretch in the right hip, isn't it? Hands back to the block if you like. You can start to surf it out, and you don't have to surf too terribly deeply. Maybe just back and forth a little bit, or a lot. Your bottom can come back to sit on your right heel. Left toes up to the sky. Breathe. Surf it out. Thank goodness for these blocks. And if you like, no blocks at all. You know, you just take it in layers. And not every day can you do everything, right? You just got to honor your body, and it'll take care of you. Just give it the opportunity. But don't push too hard. All right, are we ready to be done? Let's be done. Let's come back to standing on that right knee. Now, let's come to standing. If you can, if you want, sweep the right leg up to meet the left and come on up to standing. Get there any way you can, but just try to consciously do something like this every day. You can do it. Right leg meets left. Come on up to your standing position. All right, extended mountain. Big breath in. Big breath out, hands through prayer center, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to your shins. Think of your back as flat. Your back is flat and straight. Remember how we did a neutral tabletop with all fours on the ground? Think of your back being just as flat, tailbone and crown of the head, going in opposite directions. Suck your shoulders back towards your spine. Exhale, fold forward, shake your neck. Shake your neck, breathe. Loosen up the neck, no need to stress. In fact, no need to stress in your foundation either. Lift your toes up and give them a wiggle. Plant your feet solidly. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to your shins, back is flat, breathe. Exhale, fold forward one more time. Think of your tailbone shooting up to the sky. Inhale, arms sweep to the side of the room. Come back to your extended mountain. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out with your hands to prayer center. Let's do some balancing. Let's do tree, a beloved pose that we do a lot because it's so good for us. In fact, do it when you brush your teeth in the morning and at night. There's a good 3 minutes where you can really focus on finding your balance and living your yoga off your mat. Root into your left foot, weight out of the right. Open up the right knee to the side of the room. Place the sole of the right foot wherever you like. A chair nearby or a countertop is handy. Don't put your foot on your knee. Don't do that. It would hurt your knee. Your knee doesn't like that. Press the foot into the leg, leg into the foot. Hips equidistant to the front of the room. Shoulders are lifted, gaze is forward. This is your time to focus. You got to focus in these balancing poses, don't you? They're good things. They're good things for us to focus. You can keep your hands on your hips, on your chair, your counter, or lift your arms up. Grow your branches, we say. Look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet, and then challenge yourself a little bit. Maybe take a long blink or try to close your eyes. Maybe still your hands, or maybe hold onto your chair and take a long blink. And just try Just try. And don't think, oh, I'm going backwards if I hold on to a chair. No, you're not. Closing the eyes is one of the hardest things because we use our eyes, our proprioception, our body's ability to know where it is in space, so dependent on the eyes. Just try a little bit. Hands to prayer center. Guide the knee to the front of the room. Plant the right foot next to the left. You have another opportunity to excel. Take whichever variation speaks to you today in this moment. Bring the foot to where you like. Press the foot into the leg and the leg into the foot. Hips equidistant, and so are your shoulders to the front of your room. Stay right here. Be a firm, strong tree, firmly rooted into the earth. Use the props you need. It's no big deal. Grow your branches if you like. Sway your branches. Try to close the eyes a little or a lot, or not at all. It's your practice. So important to do these balancing poses. As we get older, we lose the ability to balance unless, big unless here, unless you practice it. When you practice it, you get better at it. When you practice it, you can do more and more things. So when you brush your teeth, use that time. Balance on one foot, one leg, and if you fall out, get right back in. Find your balance. Hands to prayer center. Guide the knee to the front of the room. Left foot meets right. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Let it go, let it go. You come back to your breath. Let's do You Will Look Taller. Great pose. You can do it up against a wall or you can do it freestanding. Let's do it. Let's bring our body into the shape of a capital letter Y for the word you. Think of the words, you will look taller. This will make you look taller. Think of the first letter of each word. Big letter Y for the word you. Press the backs of your hands to the back of the room. If you're up against a wall, this is really hard. You got to push the backs of your hands to the wall. It's like, oh, where is that wall? That's way far back there. Breathe, the big letter Y, chest is lifted. Let's go to W, will, elbows down, palms spread wide. Hug and squeeze towards your spine. Think of strengthening all those muscles up and down your spine with this letter W. 2 L's, forward and back. Backs of your hands to the wall. Breathe, chest is lifted. Tee out your arms. The word is taller. Pulse the backs of your hands. Breathe, push the backs of your hands into that wall. There you go. Let's do it one more time, twice today. The word you will look plenty taller. Tee out the arms. Now let your arms float down by your sides. Close your eyes. Think of how you feel in this moment. Your palms are in towards your hips. Your shoulders are back and down. You feel tall. Your back nice and straight. Okay, we've got a tip for you today. It's coming at the end of the practice. Stand up nice and tall. You want your spine nice and tall. Good posture makes you look younger, makes you look healthier, makes you look more fit. Think of how most of us stand. Shoulders are rounded. We collapse in. We hold our heads down, don't we? Shoulders back and down. You will look taller. You will look more fit. It feels exaggerated, but it's not. Try it. All right, stick around for the tip. You'll like that too. All right, arms go high, lift. Lift your right leg, one-legged mountain. Hold here. Here's another good balancing pose. Root into your left foot like you did in tree. Draw your right toes towards your right shin. Knee is at about hip height. Focus, look forward, lengthen up through your fingers. You've got more space there. Lengthen up through your hips. Your hips are all stretched out because you did that wonderful lunge. Hold here. You've got it. Breathe. Last week we held this pose for a minute on each side while balancing a block on our thigh. Lots of ways to do it. Challenge yourself. Maybe a chair nearby is plenty of a challenge. Hands to prayer center. Right foot meets left. Other side to do. Sweep your arms up. Get into those shoulders. Lift your fingers high. Lift your left leg as you root into the right. Knee to hip height. Lengthen up. Don't you feel tall and strong? One-legged mountain. Your foot is strong. Embrace all those little micro wiggles in the foot to keep you standing. Lengthen up. Chest is lifted. Breathe. You got it. You can do this while you brush your teeth too, right? Breathe. Hands to prayer center. Left foot meets right. Come into a chair pose. For your chair pose, bend your knees. Arms reach. Maybe you're literally hands on a chair. Reach. Sink lower. Sink lower in your bottom. Hold it here. Arms are reaching. Doesn't feel good to have the arms reach? Place them on your thighs. Place them on your hips. Let your chest be forward. Bend in your knees. Maybe pop on up onto the balls of your feet. Hold it here. Breathe. Hold it. Reach or not. You got it. Strong thighs. You can do it. Sink a little bit lower. We're going to make our way down to the mat this way. Take it nice and slowly. Hold on here. Ooh, the quads are tight, aren't they? Sink a little bit lower, hold, maybe your arms are forward for counterbalance. Come all the way down, come down to your mat. How did you do? All right, strong legs, you got it. Legs go long, toes up toward the sky, arms reach high, lengthen up. Exhale, reach forward through parallel arms, toes are up toward the sky. Your chest is forward, you're reaching your fingers forward. Reach, hollow out the belly and reach farther. Capture your calves, your ankles, your feet, whatever you want to capture, and then hinge forward a bit. Bring your nose, your chin, your forehead towards your knees. Hold on to your ankles, your feet. Hug the elbows in, fold in half. Think of your belly as totally hollowed out and fold forward. Straighten up, lengthen up as you inhale. Remember, inhales, exhales. Spread your legs wide. All right, legs wide, bring the blocks in between. You know, we've oftentimes talked about our breath. We always talk about our breath. Breath is the focus today. But bring your blocks between your legs. Bring your blocks to whatever height you like. Then bring your forearms down on them. Feel the stretch in the adductor muscles inside your thighs. So think of your breath as this way. Think of warrior and caregiver. You need warriors and you need caregivers, and you need to work together. Think of your inhale as your warrior pose. Your inhale, when you puff the chest up, expand, looking larger, that's a warrior, right? But every warrior, you need to take a break too, to recharge, to refresh. That's the caregiver. As you exhale, feel everything soften. So everybody is a warrior and a caregiver in equal balance. You can't be a warrior all the time, and you can't be a caregiver all the time. It's a pairing, it's a meshing, it's a working together. Take a deep breath in, hinge more forward, maybe bring your forehead down to your blocks, whatever feels right in this wide-legged forward fold. Maybe when you watch TV, get your yoga blocks out and watch TV in a wide-legged forward fold. Let's finish up. Let's come on to our stomachs. Let's do cobra pose. For your cobra pose, what you want to do, you're down on your mat, your belly's on your mat, kind of wiggle your hips in. Bring your legs together to touch. Press the tops of your feet into your mat. They don't stay down as much as I'd like them to. They always tend to want to pop up. But that's okay for our cobra pose. Bring your hands underneath your collarbones. Your chin, your nose is on your mat. You're going to suck your elbows toward your ribs. On an inhale, lengthen up, gaze down your nose. Feel the compression in your low back. You feel like a cobra here, right? Maybe, however a cobra feels. You look like a cobra, like your arms are the fan of the cobra. Your long tail is pressed into the mat. Press your fingers into the mat a little bit more, or have no fingers on the mat. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. Send your elbows toward your feet. Breathe, and then finish. Come on down. Bring your arms down by your sides. Turn your head to the right, letting your left cheek or left ear rest on your mat. Great opportunity to let your shoulders get away from your ears. Breathe. Chin back to the center of your mat. When you're ready, let's do cobra again. Hands underneath your collarbones. Elbows squeezed in. Zip your legs up. Tops of your feet are pressed into your mat like a long cobra tail. Inhale, lengthen up through the crown of your head and then rise on up. Breathe. Little to no weight in your hands. Elbows squeeze towards your spine, then towards your heels. Breathe, lift, finish. Come down. Turn your head. Right cheek, right ear on your mat. Arms by your sides, shoulders away from your ears. Chin back to the center of your mat. Arms reach long off of your mat like an extended child's pose. Adjust your legs so they're comfortable. I like to spread them a little further apart. When you're ready, maybe lift one leg or the other or both. Maybe add in one arm or the other or both. Balance, lift, fly like Superman. Then sweep your arms back. Fingers reach toward the bottom of your mat, palms face down. Lift out of your chest a little bit more. There's your airplane pose. Hands underneath your collarbones. Don't worry, we're not doing cobra again. Bring your feet down. Stretch. Lengthen in your spine and press into your arms, straightening out the arms. Soften in your glutes. Breathe in, breathe out. Come on up to a standing on your knees position. Gentle little camel today as you stand on your knees, shoulders over your hips. You don't have to go far. Nobody's making you go farther than you want to. Listen to your body and do what's right. Hands to your low back. Press your hands as if they're going into pockets of your pants. Squeeze your elbows closer to your spine. Think of your chest lifting. Breathe here. Look forward. Let it feel nice. Maybe look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Maybe look a little higher. Maybe look over to the ceiling, right above overhead. Hold it here, breathe. Think of your chest rising up. Exhale, let it go. Come on back down and have a seat on your heels. So this pose has a name too, it's Thunderbolt. Sit on your heels, hands on your thighs, deep breath in. And deep breath out. Let it go, let it go, let it go. All right, bridge pose. Let's come down to our mat. Bring your eye shade and your towel up near your shoulders. It's getting close. Don't worry, we're almost done. But we're going to be down on the mat for the rest of the practice. Okay, so how are you doing? Think about your shoulders. Think about your hips. Think about how do you feel? How do you feel in your head, right? That's an important piece of it. All right, so we're going to do bridge. Okay, so your blocks are near your hips because we're going to use those too. All right, come on down. Fully recline. Take it nice and slowly because you're in control. Come down, fully reclined, bend your knees, soles of your feet on your mat, arms down by your sides, press your hips on up to a bridge pose. Wiggle your shoulders underneath your back, arms down by your sides, press on up through your hips. This is such a nice counter pose to when we did the lunge. You know, when the lunge, you felt it in the front of your hips one at a time. Now we're doing both a little more gently. Press into your feet, lift on up higher. Hold it here, strong bridges. Breathe in, breathe out. Press into your feet a little bit more, lift your hips a little bit higher, hold on. This is your bridge pose. Now soften in your glutes and send the power into your strong quads, into your strong legs. Now squeeze your seat nice and high. Let the power be in your glutes. And then let's finish. Slowly lower your spine down, one vertebra at a time. Once you're down here, let's take our right leg, lift it up, bring the outside of the right ankle on top of the left knee. We're going to do a reclined pigeon pose. Your left sole of your foot is on your mat. Your right knee is bent. You got a figure four going on in the legs. Press the inner right thigh, open, open, open. You can stay right there. I like poses that we can take in layers because you can do it slowly and know what's right for you. It's fine to take a layer, go into another layer and another layer, and then maybe you reach a layer where you say, I'm putting the other layer back on. I'm going back to where I was. No problem with that. Lift the left leg up. Left leg is lifted now off of your mat. Hug the knee in toward the chest as the right outside of the right knee goes toward the front of your room. Hold it here. You can use your hands or your towel to interlace your fingers either behind your left knee, low on the hamstring, shoulders relaxed, or interlaced fingers underneath the left knee, high on the shin. Hold it here, breathe. Left foot down, right foot down, other side. Both knees are bent, soles of the feet on the mat. Lift your left leg up now. Outside of your left ankle onto the right knee. Press the inner left leg open. Stay here for the rest of the day if you want. Nobody's pushing you to do otherwise. Breathe. Maybe right foot lifts and the right knee comes up towards your chest. Maybe you like it there. Maybe you like the towel behind the right knee, hugging it in. Keep your elbows in. Breathe. Shoulders stay down. Breathe. You can take interlaced fingers or the towel underneath your right knee. Hug it in. Do what feels good. Big, intense pose, isn't it? I hope you like it. Breathe. All right, what would thing be if we didn't take a big pose that it really helps us breathe well? Let's bring the right foot down and the left foot down. Just feels right to take a little brief bridge pose. Press the weight into your feet, lift your hips on up, and roll your spine down one vertebra at a time. Keep your tailbone or your navel tucked to your spine to allow your tailbone to stay lifted, and then release the tailbone when you come all the way down. Let's do a fish pose. Take your 2 blocks, press on up. Bring your blocks to the shape of a letter T. You can do them at whatever height you like. Now your horizontal block is at the top. It's going to be a pillow for your head. The vertical block, you're going to have room for your neck in between. So I don't know, how long's your neck? 6 or 8 or 12 inches? I don't know. And then bring the block down and place it vertically. All right, or you can have it on its tough edge too if you want. Scoot your bottom up close to the vertical block, then recline. You want this block between your shoulders, not at your low back. You want it between your shoulder blades. And recline. The other block is a pillow for your head. Hold on here, stay right here. Bring your arms down by your sides. Your legs, we'll get to those in a second. Arms down by your sides, kind of snow angel them. What feels good for you? What opens up in your chest? What do you like today? Breathe. And the ticket is, have that block between your shoulder blades. Now your feet, your legs, if it feels intense on your low back, bend your knees, and your bottom should be totally on the mat. None of this lifted up in the bottom stuff, okay? Bottom is down on your mat. Block is between your shoulders. Other block is a pillow for your head. You can have your knees bent. That kind of eases some pressure on your low back. You can have your legs straight and long. That's just another sensation. If you like it, go for it. Or go back to bending your knees and bring the soles of your feet to touch, like the Supta Baddha Konasana sit-ups. Open up your knees wide. Soles of your feet are touching. Breathe here. So I guess it's like a little fin on a fish. Breathe, breathe, breathe. There are other ways to do fish too. This is a supported fish pose. You can do this fish pose without the blocks. You would tuck your shoulder blades under. You would come onto the top of your head and breathe. If you are comfortable here, you can remove the block for your head and let your head come to rest on the earth. Breathe. So this pose, very intense. It opens up your chest. Don't you just feel like your rib cage is wide open, that there's room to breathe. Your lungs have room. Your organs have room. You're functioning beautifully. Breathe. Warrior caregiver, remember, big breath in. Big breath out. That's your fish pose. Check us out on Thursdays and Sundays. We do restorative yoga. And in a restorative practice, we do this pose on a bolster, like a big pillow, and we do it for a longer period of time. Oh, does it feel great? So, join us another day for another practice. And you know, if you feel like, oh, I don't like that for the neck, and a lot of people come to this, they think, oh, it's too much on the neck, I'm putting the block back. No problem. Don't sweat it. Let's come out of the pose now. Bring your legs together and then roll off your blocks. Don't try to sit up. Roll off your blocks. It just feels more comfortable. Scoot the blocks aside. You don't need them anymore. Let's do a supine twist. So you're fully relaxed on your mat. Left leg long, right knee bends. Hug the right knee in, good and tight. Circle the ankle in one direction, then the other. Left toes are drawn toward your shin. Let the left hand guide the right knee across the midline of the body as you roll onto your left hip. The left hand encourages the right knee down toward the earth, doesn't have to touch. Right arm tees out as your right shoulder stays down. Turn your head, turn your neck in the direction of the extended arm as you breathe here and take this big twist. Breathe in, breathe out. Finish. Right hip comes down. Hug the right knee in one more time. Circle your ankles a few times. Right leg long, left leg bends. Right toes toward your shin. Left knee hugs in. Circle the ankle because you can. Right hand guides the left knee across the midline of your body. Left arm tees out. Look toward the left. Maybe try to take it a little farther. Let your eyes guide you. Send your eyes further to the left. Your neck will follow. Right shoulder stays down. Nice big twist. Finish. Left hip down. Interlaced fingers underneath your knee again. Circle the ankle out in both directions. Send the left leg long to meet the right. Your core is strong. Think of your heels as in mud and drag them on up your mat. Drag them on up, 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 up. Hug your knees in. Left hand under left knee, right hand under right knee. Elbows hugged in. Squeeze it tightly here. As you exhale fully, maybe peel your shoulders up. Maybe find your knees. Maybe give them a kiss or come close to it or not close at all. That's fine. Final Shavasana. Send your legs long. Legs are long on your mat. Legs spread wide. Arms down by your sides. Cover your eyes with your eye shade and breathe deeply. Let it all go. Breathe in peace and tranquility and serenity. And breathe out that which doesn't serve you. Stress, tension. Let it go. Big breath in, chest is open, lungs are full. You are a strong warrior. Exhale. We all need care. We all need self-care. Let your shoulders deflate. Find a moment of peace. Stay here longer in your final Shavasana pose if you like. If it's time to conclude the hour, start to wiggle your fingers and toes. And your wrists and your ankles. Inhale, reach high up overhead and take a big good morning stretch like you do before you even get out of bed in the morning. Exhale, bend your knees, roll into a fetal position onto one side or the other. Elbow is bent, head rests, top shoulder is at peace. Savor this breath, this one right here. Big breath in, big breath out. Slowly make your way up to a comfortable seated position. Whatever's comfortable for you. Maybe crisscross the legs, hands to prayer center, lengthen up. Exhale, let it go. Blink your eyes open. You did it. You did it. This was your yoga. You did it your way, and that's what's important. Stress number you took in the beginning, what was it? And more importantly, what is it now? All right, so consequences are a result of your actions. Don't underestimate the great results and the great consequences or the great things that can happen through little actions. Okay, for example, here's my tip for the day. Here's my phone. All right, how many of us, when you got your phone, you're like this? Oh my gosh. Think of how you're crushing everything. Think of how your poor neck. Your neck is like a bowling ball. It weighs between 8 and 12 pounds. Think of your neck. Think of the tension. Think of the pressure on your neck. Oh, yuck. Don't do this. Lift your shoulders and lift your phone. I mean, come on. Shoulders over, or head over your shoulders. You got a good head on your shoulders. Keep it over your shoulders. Lift your phone up and do your phone this way. Just a tip for the day. Your consequences are the result of your actions. Little actions can have big results. See you guys on your mats tomorrow. Love you. Bye. See you. Where are my dogs? Hey, Piper. Hey, Bonnie. They left me. C'est la vie. Have a good day. Here she comes. Downward facing dog, right? Good girl. Have a good day, everybody. See you on your mats tomorrow. Great start to your week.